Hi, I'm Keith Frederic, and I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to be working with Knowledge Quest and Universal Parenting Place right now, offering counseling services. I want to speak to you about using visualization as a way to lift yourself up. When I say visualization, I'm talking about using pictures. So it could be a picture that you actually look at, or it could be just a picture that you call to mind. Let me give you an example of a easy way to think of this. I'm sharing my screen. So you've probably seen this picture. It's uh, been in a doctor's office. They might have a picture like this up on the wall. It's a pain scale. And you can see there's a number line on it, 1 to 10. And there's some pictures of faces and expressions. And it's a way to objectively visualize or make a concrete statement about where you are on the pain scale so that the doctor or the nurse can come up with solutions to help you improve. So let me just make this a little simpler, and we'll just take it down to just the number line. So there you can see if I said on a scale of 1 to 10, an image might come to your mind that looks something like this. 10 would be the best, 1 might be the worst. So I might say, you can just sort of think of it as a personal rating scale. So I might say, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what kind of day are you having today? So maybe you're just having an average day. So today is like a 5, right? So notice that there are steps that you can move in this picture. It shows that there are steps where you can move to get in a plus direction, and what we're doing, and also in the negative direction. It's just an objective visual reference to sort of get an idea of where you are, maybe where you want to be, or maybe where you've been in the past, or how's your day going right now? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? So as we do this, we're using visualization. You're using a scale to see, either actually on the screen here or just in your mind, you're seeing where you are now, and it's not the same as where you were, or not the same as where you want to be. Um, so another step to this is to recognize that you're at a 5, and what's the difference between being at a 5 and at a 4? So is there some subtle difference between it? If you're at a 5 now, and maybe yesterday was kind of a 4 day, what was different about yesterday and today? What do you have today that makes your day a 5 that yesterday wasn't part of your life? Was it, something activity that you were involved in, or some feeling that you had, or some thoughts that you had, and those aren't there today. So your day's a little bit better, but maybe you want to be having a much better day. So if your day is a 5 and you really would like to have a day that's you call an 8, what would you have, or how would you be feeling if you could rate your day an 8? What would your thoughts be? What would your feelings be? What would you be doing? These are the things that a scale helps you to objectively think about and realize. So visualization, just to review a little bit, uses imagery. And what's with our eyes, we're looking at the scale, or in our mind, maybe once the scale goes down, you could still call this image in your mind up. And so we're going to build on using this scale by using actual images, using actual pictures that we can look at. This is what I mean by that. Have you ever looked at a family album or at a school yearbook? So you open that up, and maybe you see a picture from the past, and you see yourself as a younger person or a child, or you have some memories there of school friends or a graduation day or something like that. Chances are that when you look at the picture, it's going to stir some memories up, And with those memories, you might notice feelings that come with those memories. And if you do, then you'll understand that what we see can have an impact on what we're thinking, can have an impact on what we're feeling. So maybe when you look at a picture of your younger self, you feel positive and you think, oh, those were the good times. Or maybe looking at an image might think, oh, I miss that person. I'm sad that they're not around now. So it's not that necessarily a picture is going to give you a positive feeling all the time, but I want you to recognize that looking at the picture can actually help you to, or it can actually have an impact so that your thoughts change or your mood changes. So if it can take you down, maybe it can bring you up too. So using visualization as a tool, you can start to pick images that you might want to look at that will help you feel better if you're not having such a great day. So I'm going to show you some pictures and just where we are right now. Let's think about what kind of day are you having, right? So where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Right at this moment, how are you feeling? What are you, where are you? Just think of a number for yourself. So I'm going to show you some pictures. And I want you to notice if you're rating on a scale of 1 to 10 of how things are going in your mind and your feelings, if it changes at all. Now, these are happy pictures, and like I said, they could have a good impact on you. And when scientists are doing studies, they do something just like this. They'll monitor people's responses to pictures that they show. And they've noticed, and studies have even shown, that when you see somebody smiling, it actually makes you feel like you want to smile, or it makes you think about smiling, or you may actually smile if you see another person smiling. It doesn't have to be an image. Maybe just when people around you are smiling, you smile back, and that's a normal response. So this image of someone smiling might make you feel good. It might remind you of somebody. Maybe the day this person is having, this bright sunshiny day, maybe that's the part that makes you smile. It's not necessarily, or makes you feel better. It's not necessarily her smile. Or maybe if you're having a not so good day, rather than have this bring you up, it could make you think, oh, I wish I had a day like that, or this reminds me of somebody that I miss. So it might have an impact that's not necessarily as positive. But think about the scale. How much does it change your mood? Does it take you from a 4 to a 5, or does it take you from a 6 to a 5, bringing you up or bringing you down? So when you see images, it makes you think about something you can relate to. So for some people, it doesn't have to be a face. It could just be a nice garden or some wildflowers, and that has an impact on them. The important thing is to think, you could just think, how is what I'm seeing impacting how I'm feeling? So you might just be walking down the street, and see pretty sky at sunset. Notice, how much better do you feel when you look up and see the sky than you were feeling when you left home to take your walk, to be outside? Is it better or is it worse? And then think about the scale too. So think, is this, how I'm feeling? Does this make me feel better by 1 notch or 2 notches or numbers? Or, is it maybe I'm wishful that I could have more days like this, and so it takes me down a notch? But the important thing I'm talking about is, where are you in the scale on a 1 to 10? What we see influences what we think or influences how we feel. So our thoughts and our emotions are related, and there's a connection there. And that's how this idea of visualization is going to work. What we see impacts our thoughts and our feelings, and there's a connection. So if we can actually work with that idea, then we can see that visualization, or using visualization, we can actually use visualization as a tool to make changes in our life, even in a moment how we're feeling, or you can use it, to make changes in how your life is going in general. You can picture yourself having more good days, picture yourself doing more self-care, or things that are going to be positive changes that you want to make in your life. So remember that what you picture in your mind can move you closer to a positive direction. Some people, pictures of their pets or someone that they care about are a good thing for them. Maybe it's a good time that you had or you're looking forward to having. It doesn't have to be something personal. It can be something that you see in a magazine or on the news or something. That image can have an impact on how you're feeling and what you're thinking in a moment. So what you want to do is find a way to recognize the influence of images, and maybe make images that make you feel better accessible all the time. So I know on my phone, and a lot of people have pictures on their phones nowadays with smartphones, and I have a folder that has, you can have a folder that has pictures of people that make you feel good, or just a nice sunset pictures, so that you can have it and pull it out and look at it easily. Or you can carry photos of family members in your purse or in your wallet and have it easily accessible. Or even without those pictures to actually look at, sometimes you can just, if you have a favorite image, you can just call it to mind without actually looking at it, and you can have the same effect of lifting your spirits in a particular moment. I think we all know that with the phones and social media is very popular now, and you see people looking down at their phone all the time, and they're scrolling through some social media feed, and that's also using visualization, because some people do a lot of reading when they're looking at their phone, but for the most part, if you're looking at a website like Facebook or some other social media site, it's bound to be full of pictures, and those pictures can influence how you're feeling. So if you're just passive about scrolling through your phone feed, then you're letting other people put images in front of you, and depending on what those images are, you might be moving on the scale in a direction that you don't want to go in. You might see something in the news on your phone. It's a picture or a headline, which is also a kind of image that makes you feel frustrated or upset. Or it could be things that, inspire or motivate you as well. But the important thing is, rather than just be passive about letting images impact you, you can be active and keep positive images close at hand, and choose to deliberately look at them so that you can divert your thoughts away from negativity or feelings that aren't all that positive to hold on to. So just as a review, visualizing a scale helps us to think coherently and helps us to think concretely about taking steps and doing something to manage our mood at any particular time, and moving in a direction that we want to go on the scale. The way to do it is just recognize where you are, think about where you want to be, and think about, what are the things that you can have in your life that'll get you to where you want to be, from a 5 to a 6 or a 7 on the scale. So there's a lot of people have personal pictures around the house. Maybe you have pictures in frames that remind you of memories. People share pictures on social media, and you can download those and save them. Or you can just have memories of when you were younger and best friends and things like that. And those can be images that just come to mind, not necessarily that you have to actually look at. If your family members or friends are distant, you can remember good times that you've had with them in the past. And that's a way of using visualization to change what you're thinking and improve your mood. So we have the scale, and think of it, where are you today? And if today is a good day, think about the things that make today a good day. And if you're having a bad day, think about the things that you are missing, things that maybe you had when you were having a 7-day that aren't there today. And then see how you can incorporate that into what you can pull together for yourself. And maybe it's just looking at a picture of a better time, and that'll help you feel a little bit better than a 3. Maybe get you up to a 4 or a 5, depending on how you apply what kinds of images you have and how much you actually want to change your mood. So, you might even get into a habit of tracking your mood. How did I have, what was my day like on Monday? It was a 5. Tuesday was a little better. Wednesday wasn't much different. Thursday, but the weekend came and I started to have a better day. And by tracking each day, you can start to become more aware of how your days are going and what's, how you're feeling. And if you can find a way to remember what was going good on Friday and keep that, then maybe next Monday will be a better day. Although Mondays are tough for a lot of people. You can even find apps that you can put on your phone and track your mood. Some people find this helpful because, if you don't think about it, you don't recognize when you're having a bad day, you just don't think about rating it, then you don't get as much benefit when the next day comes along and it was better. And you can actually make today better if you can look at your phone and say, oh, look, yesterday wasn't that great. Today is better, so maybe tomorrow will keep getting better. So, this is a scale of 1 to 10. And, I asked you to think about 1 as being the worst and 10 as being the best. So, sometimes we do get down to a 1 because we're going to move back and forth on the scale. Hardly anybody ever stays at exactly the same place all the time. But, if you do find yourself that you're at a 1 and really it's like the worst day that you can recall in a long time, just, one thought to bring back is that you're not alone. A lot of people have get down to 1 sometimes, and it's not unusual. That's the whole idea of the scale is, maybe my 1 is not the same as your 1, but your 1 represents the lowest that you can, really want to feel at any particular day. So if you find yourself that you're at a 1, one thing you can do is try to use visualization, right? Because you want to get yourself up from that 1 and try to get yourself moving in the right direction. And maybe, think about using this visualization tool. Pull out your phone or a photo album, look for pictures that make you feel more positive. Or you can go for a walk and change your setting and look around and see what's in nature, and you can find pictures on the internet even of prettier places if they're not accessible right outside your door. Sometimes you can take a stroll virtually by looking things up on the internet for flowers or trees or beautiful sunsets and things like that. Might help you. And then once you start to get yourself moving in the right direction, then you can start the process of thinking about what can I, what are the things that a 5-day has that my day today doesn't have. I managed to, I'm not a 1 right now because I'm starting to have a little hope. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but it's still not a great day. But how am I going to start moving in the direction so that tomorrow can be a 3 or a 4 day and I can get back to feeling my normal self? It's really focusing on those things that I don't have, and then you can more concretely picture, what you're trying to bring into your life. Um, Another way to do this is if you're having trouble getting started, is reach out to other people. Give somebody, somebody who makes you feel, usually lifts you up, somebody who's a good support or there for you all the time. Give them a call or send a text, or maybe, if you're not going to do that, you can send a letter or a card or an email to somebody and say, hey, I really uh, like this, if you got a greeting card, I like this picture in this greeting card, it made me think of you. And that connection will sort of start to pull you back up the scale. And it's a way to use a picture and, sharing a picture with somebody else to make yourself feel better, because then you're changing your focus from all the things that you don't have to the things that you want to have in your life. Of course, if you really just can't get yourself motivated to do any of that, and it's just the worst day that you can never imagine having in a while, you can always, or you can't think of anybody to reach out to, you can always give the crisis line a call, and they're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Somebody's going to answer the call, and they're going to help you out. They can maybe direct you to counseling services. Counseling is a good way to, uh, to talk about what's missing in your life if you really have a lot of 1 days in a row. If you're tracking your mood and you just can't seem to get above a 3, maybe having a counselor to talk with, and you can get your thoughts together and start picturing a better succession of days ahead. So, um, maybe, ones don't really come around very much. And sometimes you do actually get up to a 10 and you're having a really great day. And I think that's, that's possible. We all have peak days and sometimes we're feeling good. Maybe we don't stay there very long. A 10 is hard to achieve on a regular basis. But if you are having a 10 day, think about what makes this day so great? What are the things that I have? What are the things I'm thinking about? How am I feeling? Who's around? What am I doing today that makes this a 10? And what you want to do is use that information, what you think about, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, and store that away. Make a picture in your mind that you can easily recall. Sort of take mental snapshots. When you're having a day that's a 10, that's a way to use visualization and say, oh, this is really great. I'm going to remember this. And then you can, on a day when you're having a 4 or a 5 day, maybe you can think about those, take those mental snapshots out and look at them. And you might, give yourself some motivation or some energy to actually improve your day and move on up the scale to a more positive number. Um, you know, I mentioned reaching out when you're at a 1. When you're at a 10 is a good time to reach out to others, because, when you're feeling good, it's not that you want to gloat, or you want to share that feeling, though, with others. And sharing how you feel is a way to sort of solidify that feeling for yourself. If you can get other people to acknowledge, oh, that's good for you that you're there. And you can also sort of reach out and say, check in with them and say, what's your day like? And so that's not always just about you. And, somebody who's down at the lower end of the scale would probably really appreciate hearing from somebody who's having a great day and can listen, and you can share with one another the difference in your days. And maybe you could, with your 10 day, you can inspire them to move on up the scale for themselves. So here's an image that's the kind of image that I really like. It's one that I keep around, and it's inspiring to me because not only is it a look at nature, but it's also shows some. It represents to me that life is kind of a journey, and it's like we're always looking down the road and looking ahead to a brighter time. And every day is not going to be perfect, but if I was thinking, where am I on the scale today? Well, how would I rate my day? Maybe it's just a 5, but I can look ahead and take this image and say, you know what? It's like, it's a 5. That's not so bad. And I know that there's a better day up ahead. And so I think I can use this image to inspire myself to just get moving and try to walk on down the road and have a good time. So I hope this idea of using visualization as a tool is helpful for you. If you are looking for other kinds of helpful information, you can find a lot of good information on the websites of Knowledge Quest and Universal Parenting Place. They have daily, they put up new information, or if it's not something that you need in the moment, you can scroll down their Facebook page certainly and find a lot of good information that can be helpful. So thank you for spending these few minutes with me, and I hope that they were helpful. My name is Keith Frederic, and I just hope that you have a better day than tomorrow.